Ignores.
Good Monday evening, everyone. Welcome to, thank you, episode number 276 of Going In Raw. It is Etep right here with you this wonderful evening. We've got a great chat on hand so far. We got Scrambles the Death Dealer, Nelson the Psychopath, Brutal Morningwood, Keely Chow, Tollbat in the house, super fan, is in the chat and on the panel as well. Speaking of the panel, we got who dropped something. Tommy the Guinea Pig Collective is here. AngelousDraven, CJP, Pop Cyclops himself, Vinnieart, Claymation Michael Jackson, aka Chris Fisk. Welcome, gentlemen. Yeah, and my nose was here early, Parrot Head, and we almost started on time tonight, boys. Good job.
It arrived 10 minutes before the rest of us.
My nose was at the keyboard waiting. We got a great show planned for you guys tonight. Manliness and motivations here. He says, just got it. Like Kevin Spacey in A Teenage Boy. I came in like, God damn it.
I thought he would have came in early.
Less than 5 minutes in the show. All right. It's a new record, boys.
That's Harvey Weinstein. He comes in early.
Why do you think I whip out the Loja? These guys they do it within seconds.
I wonder what Axel Braun would think about this.
He was a director of photography on tonight's episode. Axel Braun was. Yeah, we got I know everybody out there is thinking like, how do you deal with this savagery this early in the show? And I'm just sitting back going like,
oh well, you made your bed, now fucking sleep in it.
That's what I gotta do. That's what I gotta do.
Hey, don't make fun of DSP.
Making fun of someone with a disability is retarded.
Dark side Phil the meme machine. But we got a great show planned for you. We're gonna start out though with something special from Adam, and to do that first we got to introduce the segment, folks. And to introduce the segment, it takes an intro, and here we go. Adam, are you ready?
Put the gun down. I saw you with the box. What was in the box?
Because I envy your normal life.
Put the gun down, David.
It seems that envy is my sin.
Oh, what's in the box? Not till you give me the What's gun. In the fucking box?
What's in the fucking box? Let's find out what's in the box. What's in the box is something very, very special that a certain person on the panel knows all about and can tell us about. In said box, we do have.
Oh,
yes.
Snap.
Look at that.
Now, there's something extra special about that. This piece once belonged to Stan Lee.
Yes, it did.
And now it's in Adam's hands. How amazing is that?
And look at that Batman that it's going to go next to. Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Look at yeah.
Dude, you don't know how happy I am that you did get this like that, because now I know it's in the hands of, again, a damn good friend on top of everything else. So
and it's going to be right there, man, right next to the round table. That, right next on the poster, it's going there. And yeah, the fact that it was your piece, yeah, and I was able to get it, and it was one that Stan Lee picked. That says a lot because it's the Joker. I mean, come on, who else has a Joker office? I'm just saying.
Last time I asked my swipe what was in the box, her coworkers was not the answer I was expecting.
Yes.
But yeah, that's it. And I've actually got the Vinnie card now. Finally, I have a Vinnie card. It's staying in there too, my friend. But no, it is. It's beautiful, and I'm glad I got it, and I'm glad that I'm able to be on panels with you and became friends and everything. Man, it's just awesome.
Dude, likewise, buddy. Amazing stuff right there. Again, super ecstatic. I mean, from one of my heroes buying that from me. I mean, sadly, he passed away, obviously, and the people he worked with ended up getting all those original sketch covers, and yeah, it looks like they're selling them. So that my friend found that, and it was crazy too. The night that you found it, we were just all kind of hanging out, and he brought it up like, "I'm looking for some more of your work online, and look what I found." So the timing was kind of perfect on that.
It's almost kind of like fate.
It was. Because you were like, "Oh yeah, you're showing us the piece," and I'm like, "I swear to God, I was just looking at that book," and you're like, "Where?" And I sent him the link, and he's like, "Son of a bitch!" I'm like, "I mean, I've already messaged him, and you're like, "No, see what you can find," and yeah, it did. They still have the Spider-Gwen as well, but it was like for me, this was the piece. It completes with the Batman and this Joker, and then the fact that it's Stan Lee. The fact that you did it, you signed it. For me, I've got the number one from your former employer, even. The Spider-Man, and the fact that he signed that, and it's a West. But I mean, it's a little different because I didn't get it from him directly. Like this, I didn't get from you directly, but I know you did it. This is your work, and then it's going to be here on my collection. It's. And for my office, like I said, man, it's just awesome the way it all worked out, and with your art book and what you'd been talking. We're just back there talking about that stuff, and it just the way it worked out. And then now here it is. It came today, and I waited all day just for this beautiful piece. And yes, now I have it, and I'm so happy, and I'm happy that y'all have it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man.
We have some happiness in 2020.
I've been smiling ear to ear that you got it.
Me too, brother.
That's awesome. That is awesome, dude.
Yeah.
That is a gorgeous
You know what?
piece.
It wouldn't have been anywhere near of any of this without you, Etep. Because again, got to know Vinny through you. And of course us through Jeff and WCBS and everything. But again, everybody bringing people together. It's great.
Well, you know what? Here's something to be said right here, and there's a little bit of a lesson to be learned here. We always talk about the evils of the internet and all the freaking rotten people that we see on it all the time, but every once in a while you have a story like this where you're able to find something, being able to use the internet that's connected with somebody that you know.
Yeah, man. Dude, it's great. Again, that is an awesome point, and fuck yeah, brother. We got to take these wins.
Yep. Yeah, you got to take the W's where you can get them, man, and that is definitely a W right there. What a brightest day. And, speaking of Jeff, man, happy birthday, bro. He's out in Vegas right now, doing it up out there. So, yes, he's going to celebrate his birthday out in Vegas. So, hell yeah, brother. I'll be over there on WCBS a week from this Thursday, the 26th. Is Thursday. It will be a Thursday night. I'll be over there filling in for Coach Kendo.
Is that why our resident bigot isn't here?
He might be. Who knows? Tone's out there doing it up.
Don't be a bigot, Tone.
Tone's out there doing it up. But thank you, Adam, for sharing that with us, man. That was awesome. And yeah, if you guys want to see some more stuff unboxed on the air, we do have a P.O. box that I believe is listed in the description to the video. You can send us stuff at the show to open on air, like our good friend Sean Estep and Godzillionaire, who sent me this Ron Cashman bobblehead, which has brought us so much joy here. So really much joy.
Really.
But yeah, so there's that, and you guys can always send in super chats. We did make some new super chat bumpers for you. They're the big dollar ones though. They're the $5 and up ones. So if you're so inclined, you can do that. If not, just enjoy the show, because folks, we have a main topic tonight. We're still talking about some Friday the 13th, but it's not the stuff that I normally like to talk about. It's not the fun 80s Friday the 13th. No, my friends. We're stepping into the modern era of Jason Voorhees with a discussion surrounding the 2009 remake, which I've talked a little bit about with Justin Proper. We've talked about with Tony and Vinny. But I rewatched it today, and I bet some of you are wondering, did I think I was a little too harsh on the movie at first? Well, you're about to find out, because it is time for our main topic. So here we go. To do a main topic, you got to have the intro. We've got one for you. We've got one for you tonight. So get your popcorn, and not the one with the hole in the bottom, Jeremy.
I don't care where you're from. The first time that I saw you, girl, you had me sprung. Just the way that my name rolls off your tongue. Damn near knocked all the wind out my lungs. Baby girl, you the one, you the maximum. You got every man begging for scraps and crumbs. I can't front. I want it all in one lump sum. But girl, you got me sitting on my hands and thumbs. I ain't done. Girl, you got the magic touch. You seen every man out there and passed him up except one. Baby girl, that's what's up. I can't wait for the day when we hang and tough. I said, I'm not sure what you did to me, but I like it. I love it. Oh, I'm not sure what you did to me, but I like it. I fit. Oh, every time that I get up on the microphone, I gotta dedicate a round to you, girl. Come on. Come on. Every time that I get up on the microphone, I gotta dedicate a round to you, girl. Come on.
And there you go, folks. There's our intro for the main topic. What do you guys think of that? You like Bree's little dance? Yeah, Keely, I know. I know, Keely. I know. Parts of the reboot were stupendous. At least 2 parts. Yeah. Hicks villain. So this article right here, we'll talk about this in a minute, but you know, there's a decent shot of Jason right here. In his regalia, as it were, before he got his hockey mask. All right. So Friday.
It looks like he's on his way to a rally. I'm just saying.
I know. It's a bit disconcerting. Yeah. So Friday the 13th, 2009. I've been very, very critical, like ultra critical of this movie, because I'm kind of like, I don't know, a Friday the 13th snob almost. I would say, I kind of, you know, almost. Not quite, but almost. And
you pulled out a machete on me last time we talked about this.
I did. You know, but look,
is that right? I pulled out a machine gun.
He was like, this motherfucker brought a machete to a Tommy gun fight. But no, I have been. I've ripped this movie to shreds over the years. And I haven't watched it. Like I said, it's been a while since I sat through it. So I watched it today. And as the intro would allude to, it does have some of the elements that make Friday the 13th a kick-ass slasher, which is a lot of hot fucking women. And this one had that in spades. I mean, Danielle Panabaker, Amanda Rigetti, Willa Ford, the chick that plays Bree, what's the other ones? In the very beginning, the brown-haired girl, you know, the one that gets burned in the sleeping bag. I mean, you've got TNA all fucking day right there, okay? And that might sound like, oh, well, just being sexist. Well, no, I'm not being fucking sexist, but women like that shit too. That's a fact. You know, women like to see other hot women. They do. So
well, for the longest time, that was the staple of the slasher horror.
Yes,
you're gonna, know, when you go to see a slasher horror, you're gonna see guts spilling out all over the place, and you're gonna see at least one good pair of boobs.
Yep. It really is, and that is a hallmark of the genre. Now, to the cast of this movie, as we talked about the women. Now, the cast overall. Derek Mears is Jason. I have a newfound respect for. Thank you, Keely Chow. Juliana. Is that Guile? What up, Pope Metallicus? He says, being sexist is the new cool, man. Embrace your inner Ralph Cramden. Yes. Yes. I like that sentiment. We got to have you on the show again, my friend. We had to reschedule last time. But, no, the cast is Derek Mears is Jason. He's very physically imposing. He had alopecia. He suffers from alopecia, has since he was a kid, which caused him to get bullied a little bit. So he kind of used that to channel that into the role. And psychology wise, I like it. I do. I can respect that, Yep. I did think that his performance as Jason, watching it again, was good. I'm not saying great, not awesome. It was good.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm in the same camp, Etep. I mean, I went to the theater to see this one as well when it first came out, and I was like, "Oh, great! A new Friday the 13th movie after all this time. It's been so long since we've seen one." And I go out and I watch this, and I was just utterly disappointed when I walked out of the theater. And it was not from the guy acting as Jason. It wasn't the rest of the cast that was in there. I think all that was fine. Most of the kills were done very well. It was just once again, and I know you're going to get into it, but it was mechanical problems. Like falling in line with all the other Friday the 13th and making this feel like Jason. That is where this one actually falls extremely short for me, and why I just can't stand it for that reason alone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's one of my biggest gripes with it. But does anybody else want to weigh in on Derek Mears before we move forward?
Yeah, I thought he was adequate for sure. Like you said, there hasn't really been super standouts to me. Everyone's kind of in agreement who they think the best one is, but I think there's been plenty of them that did a good job. I mean, we watched 3 the other night. There was a lot of good shit in there too. Yeah. To have that big and imposing kind of guy. This guy is 6'5", and I think he filled it out in a really good way. When he has the hockey mask on, that's when I really like it. I can't stand the potato sack. I didn't like it in the second movie, to be honest. That's my thing. I just, when he gets the hockey mask is when, all right, now you have Jason the way we need this guy, But that's just something I've always felt about the character. I thought he did a good job. The rest of his stuff that he's wearing all the time, and they gave him some stringy blonde hair, I wasn't crazy about that either. That's another design element that I didn't like personally, but everything else was it was good. It had the look and feel. His performance was good.
I gotta be careful. He's got a pointy object.
Yeah, see, we need a certain vampire to fight a giant retard. Let's see. How about the Hanson brothers versus Jason? That would be funny. I've never seen the Swamp Thing CW show.
It's pretty good. It's actually available on Tubi right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's on my list of things to check out.
I have it on DVD. I was not impressed by it. It started out good, and then it just completely shits the bed for me. Yeah, I didn't like it.
All right.
I enjoyed it. It reminded me of The Thing.
Okay.
Well, it has those elements. Like I said, it starts off kind of strong, and then midway towards the end, there's a lot of it just doesn't make sense, and it falls flat.
Wait, Baz, what's your take on EVS beefing with Eric July? Hang on 1 second. I can answer that. Hang on 1 second. Let me do this right here.
He's in witness protection right now.
I'm in witness protection. Your Honor, on the grounds that I may tend to incriminate myself, on advice of counsel, I have chosen to evoke my Fifth Amendment privileges, and with that, I yield the rest of my time.
Oh, there we go.
Where are they beefing? Is it behind a dumpster?
Basically, the rundown is, I guess he leaked a DM or some shit between the two or something.
Who cares? Let's get back to Jason.
Yeah.
All right. So Derek Mears is Jason. I think we can all agree he was, like I said, adequate at best. I think I would put him. He's Hodder is the I like Hodder.
He is a definitive one. And
Hodder,
CJ
Graham, and then Richard Brooker from Part 3, because he was a fucking house.
Yeah, he was.
I really liked him in Part
down
3.
Doors and shit. Like he was very imposing. It's just a shame that they beat the crap out of him so much in that third movie.
I know. I want to look up who played him in Part 4. Let me see. Ted White. I thought White was good in Part 4. That was he didn't take as much punishment as Richard Brooker did in 3, in Part 4. He didn't take nearly as many bumps as Brooker did. I think Brooker's still ahead of White, but Mears would be ahead of because they had a couple people play him in 2. There was 2 or 3 different people, 2 I think people that played him in Part 2, but the potato sack Jason, the pillowcase head Jason, whatever you want to call him, Warrington Gillette gets most of the credit for Jason in Part 2.
Can we call him the Klansman Jason? You know,
yeah.
There's your Rob Tom.
Yeah, don't be a bigot, Jason. Don't be
a fucking bigot, there.
I'd put Derek in third. That's on my list. He'd be the third best one.
Yeah. I'd go Kane, CJ, Brooker, Mears, and then you kind of fill out the rest there.
Yep.
I like Mears. Ted White is there probably like he's 5 probably.
Which one's
Soul Assassin?
The Freddie Jason one is which guy? What was his name?
Kurzinger. He was the one that Hodder killed in Part 7.
Yeah.
He was the cook in the diner.
8.
Yeah.
8. I'm sorry. 8.
Yeah.
8.
Jason
8 is Manhattan.
Jason takes Manhattan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which actually
Jason Sonic.
Right. He did it in Toronto.
Yeah. Well, Vancouver.
Oh, it was Vancouver. Oh, you're right.
Vancouver.
Right. Other
Same
side.
place they shot Batwoman.
Yep.
So the rest of the cast on Part 9, you've got Padalecki is basically he's your star. And then Amanda Rigetti would be probably your top billed female, along with Danielle Pennebaker in that. And then you have your ancillary cast, Willa Ford, the 2 interchangeable, douchey, blonde-haired white guys. You got your Asian guy and then your black guy, who starts out at the beginning with that. I need my cell phone to do business. And she's like, oh, what kind of business do you do? And he's like, oh, music. And she's like, oh, rap. And he's like, oh, just because I'm black, it's rap. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry. What is it? And he's like, rap. And it's like, I kind of thought that was funny. I did. I was like, that shit is funny. He's like, don't put me in a box. Oh, she's like, oh, yeah, what kind of music is it? He's like, rap. It was funny.
She walked away. I could have sworn under her breath she said Wiggler.
She did. Wiggler. Yeah, the My Pillow Jason. Brutal.
Oh shit! He's filled with crack cocaine and crooked eyes.
Manliness. Warrior and the Sorceress? Are you talking about Sword and the Sorceress? I know Sword and the Sorceress. I don't know Warrior and the Sorceress.
Oh, yeah. But so the cast there was, I thought the cast was solid. I had to, let me look up his name. The guy that played the cop.
I see him in a bunch of stuff, mostly TV things.
Yeah.
The one who gets was the poker in the eye.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, right in the eye. Let's see here. I thought the sequence at the beginning of the movie, and this is the thing, before he gets the hockey mask, it's just a generic slasher to me. That's what it looks like.
Mhm.
You know, even the style he uses is just it could be any generic slasher movie.
Yeah.
I like the way they shot the beginning, the kills, like the guy who goes out to look for the weed, you know, him getting picked off first, and then you know, you go back and he's working his way through, you know, a bear trap to the ankle, you know, homegirl in the tent. The sequence played out well. Very like physically aggressive. Like it was, there was no, the pacing was very fast with that, the way it was shot. I liked that. Planet Tobor TV says Warrior and the I didn't highlight it, sorry. Warrior and the Sorceress is the one with David Carradine. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, after he confirmed it was 1984, I found it, and I did find it is available on Tubi.
Oh,
yay
nice.
for Tubi!
Excellent.
Supernatural wanted to use Jason for an episode during this time. Never happened, but they got Scooby-Doo instead. See, I never watched Supernatural.
The Scooby-Doo one is good.
It's surprisingly good.
Because they're like in the Scooby-Doo world and people are like legit dying.
Yeah, it was
that's
good.
what we were waiting for all those years.
Yeah.
But so let's see here.
If you're gonna get into Supernatural, those first 3 seasons are gold.
Okay,
they're fantastic, and Jeffrey Dean Morgan plays their dad. So.
Yep.
All right,
basically the Yellow Eyes demon arc is the best.
I don't know. I tried to watch that show before, and it just felt too girly. Felt like Charmed and all the other girl shows.
How dare
I thought it was going to be. No, hold on, Tommy. Yeah, you're not wrong. I thought it was going to be like that, and then I caught an episode somewhere, I think in season 4. And I went, "Oh, this is fucking good," and it was pretty dark. So then I went back and I went ahead and I watched like the first season, and I got hooked, man. Every episode's like a movie.
All right.
High production value too.
Okay. So we have for the cast, Jared Padalecki, we said, is Clay Miller. His sister Amanda Rigetti, Whitney Miller. You have Danielle Pennebaker as Jenna. Trent is the guy who owns the house they go to. That's Travis Van Winkle. Aaron Yu is Chewy, the Asian guy that's with the group of friends. Wade was the crazy hillbilly, I think. Julie,
that was unnecessary. That whole shit with that hillbilly.
Yeah,
that was pure. What's his face? That's the director, Michael.
Nespel. The director?
No, the producer. The bad boy director. What the fuck's his name?
Bay.
I already forgot it. Michael Bay. Yeah,
Michael
Bay.
Yeah.
That felt like it was one of his stupid things. Like we should have the hillbilly jerking off.
Yeah,
I hate Michael Bray. I hate him.
Yeah,
the dude's like licking the fucking hustler or whatever it was, and he's like feeling up the mannequin. Like, what the fuck?
Just bizarre shit that was unnecessary.
Like the dude's a creepy hillbilly. There's enough you could have done with that character to make him non-sympathetic, because that's what they were going for with that whole thing, was just to make him swarmy. So I don't.
Yeah, because they're ready to kill him. So it's like, let's really make sure the audience despises him.
Yeah.
But when you do that recipe type shit, then there is no surprises, and it takes a lot out of kind of what you're doing. You know what I mean? Because that's why I'll say this too, man. Like what we saw the other night, the fan-made film, Never Hike Alone 2. I prefer that again over this movie, over a lot of Jason movies. I was really pleasantly surprised on what they did there, and how tight the script was. You know,
very, very concise.
So, absolutely.
I would put Never Hike Alone 2 ahead of this one. Jason Goes to Hell, Jason X, Freddy vs. Jason. It's right there with Jason Takes Manhattan, honestly. It really is. And I like that one.
Yeah.
Because I liked what they were trying to do.
Mhm.
And that was the first one I saw in the theater. But Never Hike Alone 2 is on par with that.
Yeah. I actually
Absolutely.
I think it's better than Manhattan, in my personal opinion.
It's
My only issue with the fan thing that we made is the
size.
the size of Jason. He looks scrawny.
Yeah.
Like that's my only issue.
In some shots, other shots he looked all right, but
Yeah.
I know what you mean too.
Yeah, like from the neck up was like really weird.
They should have.
I really do
a better
attribute that to the mask. I really do think it was the mask because the mask was very rounded in that one. I think if they would have elongated that mask a little bit, it would have filled out his whole look.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I think they should have done like what they did in 3, beef out his neck a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because like in 3 they gave him like that prosthetic that was. I know they went a little overboard, kind of hunchbacky, whatever. But if you had somewhere in the middle, it would have worked better on this Jason from the fan made one.
Yeah, that's
because like Tony's saying, that mask it seemed too big for his head.
That's what they needed right here. Like the other one, it was wider. Like this protruded more to the sides instead of like the more slender appearance of it.
Which again, I know it's just being nitpicky, but that would be just aesthetically. That's the only kind of thing. But yeah, excellent stuff though, man.
Yeah, Frankie, we've already seen Deliverance. Leave it out of Friday the 13th. Exactly, and that was where we're at with that hillbilly.
Mm-hmm.
But he was kind of a hillbilly in part 2 with the bag, like, and he had the shack and all that stuff.
Well, we're just he's talking about that character, the weirdo that was growing the pot and shit.
Oh
that was feeling up the mannequin.
Isn't that where he got? Isn't that where he got the hockey mask from in his attic or whatever it was?
Yep, up in the loft of the barn.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ben Feldman is Richie. Lawrence was the black guy. That's Arlen Escarpeta. Nolan is Ryan Hansen. Willa Ford. You have Mike, which was one of the guys from the beginning.
906
America.
Manliness. That was great.
An English guy. You can't defy the Turkish.
God damn it.
He's
I
not
remember watching
wrong.
an episode of Supernatural with my wife and the CDs or whatever the dude had in the car was Motorhead dancing, rad shit, and then the music they actually played sucked.
Yeah, because Sam liked the shit music, so Sam decided he was gonna put in some stupid shit, and Dean gave him shit for it.
Yeah, that was the ongoing joke. But as they had a bigger audience, they were able to buy more rights to play better music.
Mm-hmm.
See. Looking for the cop here. What the hell's his name? Richard Berge. That's Officer Brack. All right. So I didn't like the Pamela Voorhees thing at the beginning. I thought the recreation they did, the flashback sequence was wonky as fuck in this. I didn't, comparatively speaking to other ones they've done, I didn't like it.
Well, it was in black and white too, wasn't it? The way that they shot
it wasn't. I don't know.
I was fine with it. Like again, that wasn't anything like that's really gonna make. It wasn't gonna make or break the movie for me. Is like how they did that, because I mean, you needed to take her out and show people again, because it's supposed to be kind of this reboot, remake, whatever it was. Yeah, it's its own movie. So they combined elements of the first one, the second one, and the third one. Is basically what they did with this. So, I get it. I get what they were going for, and that's why I think had they done a sequel to this, it would have been more in line with, like the cooler shit that we've seen, or the ones that we really enjoyed.
Mm-hmm. Wait. Thank goodness Jason grabbed a hockey mask and a baseball catcher's mitt. Yeah. We'll bring Trina back on so we can argue about Friday the 13th again. Yeah, this one got me though. Like I don't know. I didn't like the recreation. I didn't like how they had Alice portrayed. I don't know. It was just weird. Like, Alice had to pick up the machete after they kind of like broke apart for a second. She wasn't standing there holding it while Mrs. Voorhees is talking. You know, it was kind of like a surprise thing. You know, she's just standing there, and that's nitpicky. It is. But I'm just like, if you're going to do it, like, you know, like I know you're trying to recreate it, but if you want to do it in that vein, then at least follow, like, and that's pretty specific, but I mean, that to me, that just speaks to like the care they have for the source material. I don't know if that makes sense, but.
And Nelson, you're not wrong either.
No.
Again, that's why we enjoyed that fan stuff way better. I still got to watch the snow one, Never Hike in the Snow, whatever. Frankie said he watched all of them. There were 4 of them apparently that they had made. Jason
made 4?
Yeah, there was Never Hike Alone 1 and 2, Never Hike in the Snow, and there was another one that was like another kind of standalone Jason thing.
Okay.
But yeah, so I got to still watch 2 of them. I started the Snow one, but
it's never stops to be extremely hilarious how much better independent creators can actually do these franchises than people with the big budgets.
Yeah,
I mean, look at some of the crap that Disney has put out with Star Wars. Then go ahead and look at some of the fan films that they put out.
Yep,
they're 10 times better with a freaking budget that's almost non-existent.
Oh, for sure, for sure, man. Dude, even the one guy who he recreated that, he made that scene we never got in the original movie, basically a proper fight between Darth Vader and Obi-Wan, you know? And everyone's like, yeah, that's the definitive fight that we needed in there.
Yeah, I like what Hicks Villain said right here. It should have been a continuation. The legend of Jason dies down, rich people move into the area, Jason returns. Yeah, because they're building up, you know, like. And that's the thing is, like, Crystal Lake is not huge, but it's obviously as big and as connected to other bodies of water as they want it to be because it's fictional, more or less. Yeah. So, you know, it's connected to the ocean, obviously. You know, so
and there's it would have been better, and yeah, you wouldn't have had to done a reboot bullshit. It would be like a kind of like a soft restart kind of thing.
Yeah, which means there's going to be houses on there that we haven't seen, like Trent, his parents' house, on there. And yeah, you know, you could see, that's the thing is, like, they could have used that and then tied in a couple of the locations from around, you know, the area, the known lore and mythos, you know.
See, we need Hicks Villain in our pitch meeting with this stuff.
Right? Jason Rises was the other fan. Okay, I'll check that one out. I haven't seen that one. Movies have become so expensive, the studios are afraid to take chances. That's it. Jason versus the Homeowners Association. Yes.
He should slaughter them all.
Yeah, you should.
Dale Gribble could have defeated Darth Vader because pocket sand. See?
Take that, Vader.
I'm just saying, Jason versus CenturyLink wouldn't hurt my feelings at all.
Yeah, right.
Wait, Crystal Lake is connected to the ocean. Jason versus Jaws. I have a framed picture of Jaws eating. Hang on a second, I'll go get it. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back.
Yep, Sharknado though.
Jason versus the Meg.
Yeah, right.
He is neither a chick nor a pea. Discuss.
With the Meg, would she be wearing her little pink cap and her glasses? Shut up, Meg. Oh shit! It would have been like that scene in the other movie, the nerdy chick who got all dolled up, and then Jason killed her.
Yep.
Oh, the one in 7.
Yeah. She was like playing hard to get. She kept crawling underneath that thing, and he kept like, "Where are you, bitch?"
I'm just saying. Like, you want a slugfest? You got to have Jason versus the Creeper.
Oh God! From the first one.
From the first one. After that, forget it.
Yeah, 2 was okay. It had some elements that were all right, but everything.
That last one was absolute shit.
I didn't even see it.
Don't bother.
That's funny.
That is great.
And when we were buying this, we were in line, and there was a Jason cosplayer behind us, and he saw me picking it out, and he was like, he kind of chuckled, and I was like, hey, and I ended up talking to him, and I saw him in Cincinnati, and him and his wife, who was a very, very attractive Freddy Krueger cosplay, they were in Indy too, so I sat there and kind of bullshitted with him for a few minutes while we were in line. But super cool peeps. He had a Part 7 cosplay.
Cool.
I know you and Draven, you and Adam saw him walking around there.
Yeah.
He was a bigger guy, not real wide, but he was like about 2 inches taller than me, at least. Yeah, he was a big dude. He's about 6'5", 6'6".
Wow.
The Nun 2 thing was pretty cool too. I kind of wish I would have got my picture with it, but
I had fun. I had fun with those broads. I had fun with those fucking broads. That was fun. But yeah, that's my Jason versus Jaws, which, like I said, I just framed it, and I got to hang this up in the Voorhees section of the den. So there's that. But so where were we? We were talking about cast, weren't we, for the 2009 movie? And I overall, as a cast, I think they were good. You know, I would have liked a little bit stronger of a final girl. You know, you could tell that Danielle Pennebaker wasn't gonna make it. Like before she died, like it's like, okay, they're not gonna do 2 of them. You know, obviously, just common sense would tell you that she was the one that was gonna go, because he spent all this time saving, you know, trying to rescue his sister, Whitney Amanda Rigetti. Clay did, and you know, Danielle Pennebaker's kind of that third wheel. And her death was pretty cool. Like the deaths in this were really, really good. When Jason grabbed Trent and smashed him on the spikes on the back of the truck, that was freaking brutal. It was great. There was. I didn't like, you know, like I said, he's got electric shit run, and that to me was the big thing. I was like, and it's modern, you know, they had the cell phones and stuff, and I don't dig that at all. That was the thing that kind of like took me out of it, because I don't like this franchise moving into the modern. It just loses its kind of that shine, you know, the luster
it loses
it
its charm.
It does. It is that panache, that je ne sais quoi it has. It loses that.
You need to keep it like that 80s feel. I mean, I'm 100% with you there.
Yeah,
I told you that's why, like, what we did for Through the Woods, same deal. We didn't put cell phones. We didn't do that type of stuff. It could still be 80s, 90s, whatever. But it has that feel that you need. That's gonna, you know, work with the aesthetic and everything.
Yeah. Oh, hey, we got a question. This is a good one. Soul Assassin. Out of the panel, who will survive being at Crystal Lake and Jason?
Well, I'm fat, so I'm going first.
I'm a vampire, so I'm pretty good.
We already saw.
Watch out for the spiky bits.
We saw 3. We know what happens to Shelly.
Oh shit!
Damn.
Chris has been building up to that line.
Would it be better if we just picked our own deaths?
I have to say, Adam and I would be fucked because we would be high as shit.
Yep.
Well, if I gotta go, I'm gonna be banging one of those hot broads in the movie.
That's what I'm thinking.
He's bad away here.
Tommy got a bad back. He ain't outrunning nobody.
No, I'm gonna use the pigs to distract them.
He's gonna walk out there with his hands in his pockets.
That's some pig nunchucks and shit. A pig spear.
Orange Cassidy versus Jason. He walks out with his hands in his pocket, starts kicking him in the shins gently.
Oh shit!
So are we saying we'd all die?
Oh, definitely.
I'm good.
I mean,
Hey, none of us gonna fucking make it. God damn it.
Chris Fisk will, because he's the only one that wouldn't be there. You'd be
Chris
the
is
one
like, I'm
telling
too
the
smart.
story. These dumb motherfuckers.
It's like, let me tell you. He's like, first of all, Jews don't like to camp. I don't like to camp.
Oh, we don't, but it has to be like a business camp.
I think that's just more or less like I never have. I've never, unless there's a hotel with like a view of the woods, like, you know, I'm not a camping. I have camped. I shan't camp again unless I have to. That's
now hold on. I just had a really cool theory. Now, what if I happen to have that Jason figure on me with his mother's head? Do you think that would distract me long enough? Jason, your mother is talking to you.
Damn.
Now, if one of us had hair long enough, which Adam does, to put the sweater on and do the gimmick, you know,
you'd have to shave though.
Yeah.
Really,
Jason,
just end up sounding like
Jason
Mama
retarded.
Fratelli.
He wouldn't know the difference. Gray hair, you know. There you go.
Oh shit.
He's a retard.
I said you just end up sounding like Mama Fratelli from the Goonies.
Yeah.
Oh, we had to keep you chained up.
Holy shit.
Wait.
Are you all good?
Soul Assassin, we're all fucking dead, is what it sounds like. The only
manliness.
The only way I'm surviving is if I leave to go get munchies and just don't come back because I'm stoned and I forget.
Oh,
Draven is already undead and has a thing for retards.
Oh,
damn. So while Draven distracts him, Etep and I just unload our, magazines into this.
Plus, I have I have superhuman speed, and strength. So yeah, I'm good.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
And then he's going to do his super Draven dance for him.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
He'd do anything for love, but he won't do that.
Yep.
But I don't know if I was too harsh on this movie or if I was harsh enough on the things that weren't good, really. Like there was, and like I said, it's just the whole, I don't know, running the electricity and all that. I don't know. It seemed more that's just a generic slasher kind of thing to me, rigging up all the traps and everything. But I guess it's open to interpretation, and whether you're looking at, this is obviously supposed to be, pre part 6 Jason.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't like it. And I don't like the modern aspect of it. I don't like it being taken out of the 80s.
I think the modern aspect can work because certain areas don't have cell service still.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer.
You just have it.
Does.
You just say that Crystal Lake just is out in the boonies and doesn't have cell service.
Yeah. Chris would be shooting Jason from the roof. He's right.
Right. When you get that little bit of a bar for your cell service, that's where Jason is skewing you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see? I got the speed, man.
Yeah,
slicing and decapitating people.
I just prefer to stay in the 80s with that aesthetic and stay right there and keep it in that time period. I missed, like I said, there was no real final girl. I mean, I guess there's a final girl if you consider the sequence where Jason jumps out of the water and grabs Clay, so that makes Amanda Rigetti the final girl by default. Mm-hmm. But she really didn't do, anything to outside of having the little the necklace piece, the locket, which he was enamored with because his mom had one. You had Jason versus Starlink, Jason versus Elon, Jason versus the Rippaverse. That motherfucker racist, dog. He look like I saw him. But no, those are my main, I guess, points of contention, you could say. And like I said, the biggest thing was I didn't like how they really portrayed him. I
hated the hobo hovel.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The underground
I didn't like that. Yeah, making him more like Bubba, from Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw by capturing and I know we got into the discussion, Vinny, but I just find the explanation that it reminded me of his mother to be really weak, because at no point did he try to take what's her name from the second movie and try to run away with her because it looked like Mama or acted like Mama. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I thought he just got vengeance on her. You talking about the one in the beginning where he puts her head in the refrigerator?
Well, yeah, but in part 2, he's just standing there paying attention to her. He's not trying to grab her and run away because it looks like Mama. No.
Oh, you're talking about Ginny.
Yes.
Amy Steele's character. Yeah. The girl that puts a sweater on and everything in his little cabin. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's been a minute since I've seen that.
Yeah,
I know it's whether it's a weak argument or not. For me, it was fine on that level. I mean, because to me it made sense on what they were trying to do for the film. I'm not saying it was perfect, but again, for those elements and stuff, I got it.
I'm all right with the underground tunnels too.
Yeah, because for me, he's been there since he was a kid, and it's that's his land, it's his property, pretty much.
And it also gives kind of an explanation of how he just magically appears everywhere. Because he has those underground tunnels established, and he can just pop up wherever the hell he wants.
And I prefer that over he teleports. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
And see, I never thought that out, because there was a few scenes in the earlier ones where you actually see him running. Matter of fact, you even seen it in part 3. And my assumption was that even though he trots through most of the film when he's going up to these people and stalking them, in between he can actually start sprinting, Usain Bolt.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. Is when he's still human Jason, you see him. He can run. Absolutely.
He's obviously limber, because in 7 he jumps through that window and is all ninja-like.
Yeah, and that's when he's undead Jason from 6 on, keeping that in mind.
I still say he was dead from the beginning because he drowns as a boy.
See, I don't think I don't.
I think he was resurrected from his mom at the sacrifices of part 1.
You should have done that. He's just a boy.
Oh yeah.
That's I can take that.
Chris.
I can take that, definitely.
Well, that's what I mean. There's nothing. It's nothing super definitive all around with the series.
Well, technically, that's why I think that they wanted to include the Necronomicon when they do
Jason
9.
Goes to Hell.
They want the Necronomic to explain how he comes back in the beginning anyway. And that's pretty much, canonically, if you're talking canonically, that is canon in the series, that he is brought back with the Necronomicon by his mother.
And Sam Raimi had to apologize for using that.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he had to apologize for using that in part 9, for allowing it to be used, because it wasn't supposed to.
Interesting.
Yeah, I listened to a review of that today, and they were talking about it, how he had to apologize for that shit, because it wasn't supposed to be tied together at all. There was the same dagger, the dagger and the Necronomicon were both from that.
Yeah, what is it? The Kent, what is it?
Kandarian dagger.
Kandarian dagger.
Yeah, I don't know.
But at that point they were actually in talks about doing the Freddy versus Jason and versus Ash. So they were in talks early on, but we all know how that kind of fell apart.
Yeah. And that was the problem once Jason left Paramount and went to New Line. Was they never knew that was the house Freddy built. They didn't know how to handle that fucking character. That's why the first thing it is fucking kill him. And Jason Goes to Hell, which fuck that movie. That
I don't ever want to see that.
That movie is horrendous. The first 4 or 5 minutes and maybe the last few minutes, and that's it. The rest of that film is just it's ready to be burned. It's like a Ryan Johnson special movie.
That was
gross.
Adam Marcus, the director, was best friends with Sean Cunningham's son, and Cunningham handpicked him to make that because he knew he would do whatever he said. And Cunningham told him, get rid of the mask. And what does he do? Now Jason's a fucking worm who can jump from body to body. It's like, oh my God.
That's retarded.
Oh my God. Yeah. And that right there makes me like the 2009 one just a little bit more. Not much, but just a little bit more. But yeah, that part 9, and then Jason X, which is fun to watch as like a sci-fi quality movie, but as far as being a Friday the 13th movie, that is not a Friday the 13th. That's why it's called Jason X. It's not Friday the 13th.
Yeah, Jason 10.
Yeah, it's fucking...
This isn't late. Jason, he has ceased to be. He has run up the curtain and joined the bleeding choir invisible. This isn't late. Jason.
But I tell you what, the comics, when they were doing the comics for that series, the comics actually picked it up rather nicely. So you get the mask that goes to that Earth 2, and it regenerates. And then you also get Jason, apparently still left in what's left of the ship, gets regenerated by the table.
Oh, nice.
And then you wind up getting Jason versus Jason X.
Make it Jason. Activate.
See, Draven likes Jason X for the fembot with the magnetic nips.
Yeah,
sorry. Oh, she's fucking hot.
When you turn Jason into RoboCop, I'm out. Sorry, fellas.
Yeah. Yeah, Uber Jason, like, miss me with that shit. Like,
yeah, that's beyond.
I'll take one eye potato sack Jason over that.
I like Uber Jason because then it's like there's no hope. There's no like you're not winning. Like I like that aspect of it because the Nana like just make him fucking
RoboCop
unstoppable.
No, this is
you need something bigger and badder to beat him.
Jason versus Ernest. Hey Vern. I don't know. Like I said, the 09 one, it's still at the very bottom of the list. It's above. I can safely say it's above Freddy vs. Jason, Jason X.
What is?
Jason Goes to Hell. 09.
Oh.
I'll put that ahead of anything that New Line did any day. Because that's not Friday the 13th. What New Line did to it was just a fucking joke.
I've talked to how much I hate Part 5. I'm sorry, I don't like the Roy Jason, but even Part 5 sits well above 9 and some of the other. But I will say I actually put 10 above 5.
Really?
5's the one with the.
Roy,
the guy that's not Jason. Yeah, I like that. That's my favorite.
I still like that one. I do. I enjoy it, even with the twist that it's not Jason. I like the kills in that. I like the characters. Joanna Man was good in it.
It also makes sense because there would be technically a copycat. Like somebody would try to copycat. Like, the kills and stuff like in the series,
and that was while he was dead.
Yeah, and now it would have been cool if like the copycat is doing it, and then like the real Jason like shows up and fucks up that guy. Now that would have been interesting.
No, yeah, I think I probably could have been a little bit more on board with it then, but I mean, I do like how they kind of follow it up though, because all that shit haunts Tommy Jarvis. I mean, it was haunting him from Part 4.
Yep.
To the point that he actually gets put in a special camp with people who are a little bit, I think you were there at some point, Draven. But anyway, and it continues from that and still being haunted that he goes back and he winds up inadvertently resurrecting Jason. So, I mean, I will give Part 5 credit for that. At least it leads nicely into a good resurrection for Jason.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And there, like I said, there were some really good death scenes in that. What up, Orville Nation? Hail, PJ. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Yeah, make sure y'all share the stream because YouTube is severely, they're doing me dirty. They're doing me dirty. Like, we're negative sub growth in the last month, folks.
Jeez.
So, yeah, -8 in the last month. YouTube is doing us dirty over here. But we're still talking some Friday the 13th. We're kind of jumping around. We're talking about part 5 a little bit. Like I said, Danny Steinman directed that, the porn director. This is, you want the TNA part 5 is that one's yeah, that one's up there, you know. But speaking of which, we got to talk about 09 again, because I have some script stuff they released on Friday the 13th here over on Twitter, which is kind of neat. This is from the unmade sequel. This has the extended opening sequence. It's winter, and the rest of the movie is the reopening of the summer camp. And wait, we had this is the zip line scene that was unmade. I've got another one with Elias, Voorhees, and Pamela where she kills him. So you have Val taking a drunken piss in the woods as she squats, looks up and sees the top of the zip line, and she smiles. Exterior zip line at sunset. As the sun goes down, Val climbs up the ladder alone, determined, excited. Val, you're young, enjoy life. If it's meant to be, he'll come to you, idiot. At the top of the platform, Val clips the harness around herself. Unlike Jerry, she knows what she's doing. Chris, is that a girl boss moment?
Oh, yeah. She needs to die.
Val, on the zip line. Wait, where are we at? Okay. So Val takes a look around the incredible vista. She can see the whole camp, Crystal Lake, from up here. She exhales, feels better already, and she steps off the platform with ease on the zip line. Val is flying. She's thrilled, loving this. This is just what she needed to clear her head, to give herself a lift. All is right with the world again. Val looks down as the ground rushes past underneath her. Woo! That's Val. Ric Flair screaming. Ric Flair's in the chat. Val looks to where she's headed, can now see the end, and that's where she sees Jason waiting for her. He's standing at the end, machete out, waiting, and she's shooting straight at him. No way to stop. Oh, shit! Val struggles with the harness, trying to free herself. Not too far to fall, maybe. Anything to get away from the man with the machete. Can't. She grabs the thick wire above her, barehanded, trying to stop. Her hands instantly bloodying. Too late. She's already there. Jason arches back, 2 hands on the machete's grip. Just as she flies in, he steps toward her and swings through her midsection like he's going for the fucking fences in the World Series, cutting her in half at the waist, sending her lower half flying. Val's upper half passes Jason and hits the end of the line with a sickening bounce. Just her top half, still clipped in the harness, even as her innards spill out onto the wooden platform. Eyes still full of horror, she blinks once. Oh my God, she's still alive? Jason cuts her down, and her torso falls with a wet thud. Not anymore.
Wouldn't it have been smarter to like lean back and use your feet and hold onto the center thing and hold back and use your feet to like slow it down?
Right?
Stop it?
Instead of your hands?
Yeah, well, clearly you can see by this.
Not a girl boss moment now, is it?
No, you can
No, that's
see-
your typical girl boss. Dumb as shit, but
Yeah.
she's thinks
Yep.
she's smart.
What
Yeah.
I think that's why this just what you read was like stupid enough. Like, yeah, let's just take it out of the movie.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, this was for a sequel they were going to make.
Oh, jeez.
And we have another one here. Let's see. Let me find the link here
She's probably retarded.
to this one. All right. God damn it.
Don't mansplain to the girl boss, Draven.
What up, horny Alf? What's going on?
What up?
Yeah, don't mansplain to the girl boss. She was probably a retard. She was a retard. Wait.
How dare you?
Jason wouldn't have killed her then, and he would have had a retard princess.
It was a kindred spirit.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Making fun of someone with a disability is retarded.
Just think if Jason and her were the Adam and Eve, and we're the descendants of those two fucking things.
Ugh.
Oh God.
Not okay.
Not okay. So here, this is the Elias Voorhees and Pamela dialogue. In the nearby woods, Jason watches them talk outside his childhood home, but after the moment, the colors seem to wash away. Flashback. Interior Voorhees cabin, kitchen, night. A man, Elias Voorhees, stands in a small kitchen in the cabin with his wife, Pamela Voorhees. He speaks in hushed tones. We recognize him from the photo album. This is Elias Voorhees. Listen to me, Pamela. We're not equipped to deal with him here. We need to, this is difficult, send him somewhere. To get him the right care, we don't have much choice. Pamela just stares at her husband, but then finally smiles and nods. There's something in the way she does it that makes us a little uncomfortable. All right, so they're talking about getting rid of, clearly wants to get rid of Jason. So Pamela says, "You're right, dear. It's the right thing to do for Jason." Living room, moments later. The warm glow of a fireplace is the only source of light in the main room of a small cabin. There's a distinctive stag's head carved from wood in the mantel. Elias Voorhees sits in his armchair. Feigned look on his face. He takes a long drink of whiskey. This is a tough and emotional moment for him. Elias Voorhees, "I got something I need to tell you." In the corner of the room, a young Jason Voorhees sits. We cannot see his face, but his misshapen head is silhouetted in the firelight. Jason doesn't say a word. Elias continued, "Your mother and I have been talking about you." A trapdoor slowly opens in the floor behind Elias' chair as Pamela Voorhees rises up from the root cellar. I kind of like that. That's kind of neat. A little Scooby-Doo-ish, but, you know. Elias Voorhees, "This isn't easy on us, son." Pamela arches way back with a shovel behind him. Elias, "But I'm afraid this won't be your home anymore." And she cracks Elias in the back of the skull with a horrible clang. "By God, he had a family." Elias tumbles onto the rug on the floor with a sick thud, the glass falling from his hand. Pam walks to her felled husband slowly, stands over him, and then hits him again with a high-pitched maternal shriek like a fierce animal protecting her young. Pamela looks to Jason in the corner, love and concern now in her blood-splattered face. Jason never moved. "Don't worry, Jason. Everything's going to be fine now." Damn, so she just murders her husband right in front of her son.
Yeah, but it's okay because it's not, he's not the father. Remember, it's Ralph.
Yeah, this...
Never forget.
Jason Voorhees, you are not the father.
That would make sense considering that he, like, if he sees, like, somebody being murdered in front of him, like, at such a young age, he would probably have tendencies to want to do the same thing when he's older. So, kind of build on that, like, why he kills people, kind of thing.
Right. I could see that. You know, it's obviously a learned behavior stemming from a traumatic experience.
Yep.
But the scene just closes out with Pamela burying Elias in the root cellar and her telling Jason, "This is your home. This will always be your home." So that's that was some stuff that was from the unmade sequel. The Elias Voorhees character was teased for part 6 and then scrapped. And then Tommy, you're more familiar with the comics. I know they used him in the books.
Yeah, a bit. There was quite a few that they did in the different comics, and of course there was a bunch of different novels as well.
Yeah. There's quite a few novelizations of this series.
Did they ever say why we never got the sequel? Because the first one didn't do well, or
it did do well though,
or was it a rights issue?
It did better than any Jason movie.
It did. That was the most financially successful Friday the 13th movie.
Oh, then what the hell?
Yeah, I think if they hit the 100 million on the nose, because it was like 90 something million, 92, I think.
Yeah, I mean, they just
Yep,
scraped over, like, I think it was just barely 2.5. They didn't make that 3 times the amount that most production companies want to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
No,
it
didn't take much for them to be dicks.
It was what? But it only had like a $17 million budget.
$19 million budget, but usually double that for promotion.
Even then, if you figure in marketing and distribution, with a 2.5 times multiplier, they still made almost $60 million. You know, just shy of 60, which is a pretty good return on investment.
Right, but like it's what we always say, you know, that's not what those companies do. They want to see a huge return on that investment way before it ever goes to, you know, DVD or anything like that.
Yep.
So the fact that this didn't hit it is another reason why they were probably hesitant about already starting in another one. And then, of course, you had the rights issues with Cunningham suing to get full control of Friday the 13th, which he almost did, except for part 1.
Yep.
So there's another guy who apparently penned the original script for Cunningham.
Victor Miller.
Yeah, and he's got control of the
characters.
original. Yeah, he's got the control of the original and what Pamela Voorhees and everything. But everything with Jason after that is all Sean Cunningham, and that's all under his purview now.
But see, Miller, I believe, gets an executive producer's credit on the A24 show, and they can use anything under the entire license for that series. So,
there was actually another court battle over that, about whether he has the rights to use it. And I thought I was reading somewhere that they said he didn't have the rights to use it.
No, that was the last one they settled. Miller got control of all that. Now, I don't know if it varies from television to cinematic. I'm not certain of, but the last I saw was when they were going into full swing with the Crystal Lake series, and Miller had secured he'd secured the rights back to where the A24 could use Jason, they can use Pamela, they can use Crystal Lake, they can use the Friday the 13th name, but they wanted to do the Crystal Lake thing and make it like a remake and kind of move back and forth. Because they have a guaranteed 2 seasons, so they said they'd have to pay everything
that I'm reading about that, because I'm actually looking at it right now. This is actually a fairly recent article. So they're talking about the franchise, the 13th franchise made success, blah blah blah. A legal battle over ownership of the franchise occurred between writer Victor Miller and director Sean S. Cunningham, with Miller ultimately winning the rights to the first film. A prequel TV series called Crystal Lake in the works, which will take place before the events of the first film, not after.
Yeah, and then but that's the thing is, like they said, now in the description, the videos I've done on this series, and the quotes from Brian Fuller, and I can find the articles because he said they could use pretty much anything. I want to find that now, because that's that. When that article come out, Tommy?
This one I'm seeing is September this year.
Okay. All right. Let me see. Let me see here.
Elias Voorhees worked for that company from Halloween 3.
Silver Shamrock?
Yeah.
I'm also seeing another article right here where they're talking about Sean S. Cunningham developing a Friday the 13th reboot.
Yep.
And
I
this,
heard
this
that.
was, January of 2023.
That's going to confuse people. Have the series and then have a movie reboot.
Right.
Well, not really. I mean, if they're saying that the series is supposed to take place before the first movie, I don't think it would be that confusing.
True.
No. Let's see. Let me pull Okay, so the most recent article I have on the prequel series is from July of this year. And let's see here. We've got I had to turn my fucking VPN off, and I have a fucking bunch of ads. Let's see.
A TV producer lying, say it ain't so.
Yeah.
So
right,
the Jason multiverse.
All right, so you got Brian Fuller making this. He's joining Steven Dodson. Kevin Williamson from Scream is in on it. Victor Miller. Okay. May bring back Savini. It's coming out in 2024. You got Adrienne King coming back for the show. She's not going to play Alice in it, though. But I'm looking, where the fuck was that one with it talked about the rights to it?
Into the Jason verse.
That's about it. Oh, here's Joe Blow. I didn't even see this. Joe Blow released an article about it 3 days ago.
Oh.
And it's weird because all the fucking news usually comes up, you know, when it's just most recent. But here's from Joe Blow Horror. Let's see. So this is last November. We knew Brian Fuller, but here's So here's what we know about this series. Okay, so
here's another one, Etep. I'm going to throw it in the private chat. I mean, unfortunately, This is from Collider, but they got a lot of information in that one.
Okay. All right. Okay, so here's the rights situation. While Friday the 13th franchise has been at a standstill in recent years due to the copyright lawsuit between original producer Sean S. Cunningham and screenwriter Victor Miller, the lawsuit has come to an end. Miller has been awarded the copyright to the 1980 classic within the United States, as well as non-exclusive foreign rights. And to get his TV show rolling, he's teamed up with his lawyer, Mark Toberoff, and Rob Barsimian, an investor in the original Friday the 13th, who has a stake in the rest of the franchise. Due to the involvement of both Miller and Barsimian, Fuller will be able to use anything he wants from the existing Friday the 13th franchise as he makes Crystal Lake. From Mrs. Voorhees to every variation of Jason Voorhees, it's all fair game. So...
Well, in this one article, I'm looking right here down at the bottom. It says Sean S. Cunningham also kept control of the intellectual property from the Friday the 13th sequels. What does that mean? Is Victor Miller only wrote the first movie, he only retained the intellectual property from that project. If Miller wanted to greenlight a movie called Friday the 13th about camp counselors getting killed at Crystal Lake, so be it. There was just one major flaw, though. Jason Voorhees is not in the original Friday the 13th film.
So we've got contradictory information. Is this the article in the private chat from Collider you're reading from?
Yeah.
Okay. Here, let me pull that one up. Let's take a look at that one from Collider. Okay, so this came out on September 3rd, and the Joe Blow one was from, a couple days ago. I just wonder if there's been, updates to, you know what I mean?
Well, I know they did. September. They did say in here that Cunningham was appealing.
Yep. Okay, so it's been 14 years since the last movie, but that could be about to change. All right, so let's see.
Yeah, the stuff I found for that article is way down. God, it was way down towards the bottom.
Okay, here it is. Writer, director, and original photo ownership. Yeah, here it is right here. They said it was, his reasoning that Miller was nothing more than a work-for-hire writer. It was Cunningham's idea. Miller was simply the employee hired to write it. Let's see. Miller disagreed that he was a work-for-hire writer. According to his lawyer, the script was commissioned as part of a film. There was never anything presented to Miller that said the script was a work made for hire. Cunningham and the film's producers said that Cunningham was behind every creative and financial decision, and that a standard WGA form agreement would have shown Miller that he was Cunningham's employee. In 2018, a U.S. District Court judge ruled in favor of Miller. He agreed that the screenplay for the Friday the 13th wasn't made for hire work. In his ruling that Miller was an independent contractor, that was a big win for Miller, but not the end of his fight, as Cunningham would quickly appeal. And that came to an end in September 2021. Second U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals held up Miller's win that he was an independent contractor, not an employee of Cunningham's, hired to write the screenplay. This meant he reclaimed the rights to the Friday the 13th franchise. It wasn't a complete win for Miller in regard to complete control of the direction. Cunningham kept control of the foreign rights for one. There was one more key piece of information that didn't make the next step so clear. Yeah, so it was the Jason thing.
Yeah, that's what the next part gets into.
Yeah, Cunningham also kept control of the IP from the Friday the 13th sequels. What does that mean? Is Miller only wrote the first movie, he only retained the IP from the project. If Miller wanted to greenlight a movie, called Friday the 13th. See, so this is, this is going to be, it's going to be interesting to see how they handle that, because it's obviously still not 100% settled, and to me it just seems like a dick measuring contest at this point. It's like, why the fuck don't you just hammer something out where you both get paid?
Well, that's that's one of the reasons the game is like pretty much died, because they had all this roadmaps and stuff for the DLC and different versions of Jason. And because of the rights stuff, they had to stop doing it.
They couldn't update it the way they wanted to.
Yep.
Yeah, that is just one big mess. It's just a shame that Cunningham and Miller couldn't come to terms without going to court, because it would just made things a lot easier on the fans if they could have.
Yep. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. It's like, you could both be getting paid from this, or you could both keep spending money on legal battles. That are pretty fucking useless
from a franchise that isn't producing anything.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense financially to spend money when you could be making it. I just it's kind of stupid.
Obviously there would be residuals, but still.
I don't. It's like the fans are the ones that suffer, So I'm still interested to see what they do with that show,
Well, at the end of that article, they actually talk about when they, say that we're going to use anything we want, and they're actually speculating in the end of that article. Are they doing that just to tease fans? And of course it's we'll have to wait and see what they do with the series. But if Cunningham does hold all rights from the sequels on, that could actually pose a lot of problems for them.
Yeah. That would really put them in a box to what they could do, with a guaranteed 2 seasons. It's like they might have to go back and fucking rewrite everything. Jason versus Ison versus trademarks.
That's not what I was laughing at Keely's.
Hang on.
One comment.
It's old men fighting. That's what it is, Clone Geek. Young Jason, 59.
Oh, that's good.
Sounds as bad as the Robotech rights situation.
Oh, I didn't know there was a rights.
I'm not familiar with that. Is there a big thing with that?
It has been since the 80s, because when Robotech was created, Carl Macek got the rights for 3 completely unrelated shows from Tatsunoko Productions and rewrote all the stories to make them one. But the problem is Macross, the first part of Robotech, is huge in Japan. It's had multiple sequels over the last 40 years. But because Harmony Gold is so tight-fisted dickwads about the Macross rights, they would never let them release anything Macross related in the U.S. unless that's Robotech name on it. And
that's where you fall into the whole Transformers thing, because when Macross and everything were bought out by Bandai, and they started selling all the damn toys, they actually literally said, look, you can license out this Valkyrie into your Transformers line as Jetfire, but you can never put it on TV as it appears, nor in the comics. And even the name wound up being changed in the show to Skyfire because of rights issues. And it wasn't until much later on that I guess they secured the rights to the name of Jetfire and were able to start using it again. But even then, the character still never looks like the original Robotech Origins figure.
Right. Well, and BattleTech had the same problem because Fast and Harmony Gold went to battle over that because the BattleTech used the original 13 Destroid designs from Macross for their 13 mechs, and Harmony Gold was like, no, those are our designs because they're in Robotech. And they had a pissing match for about a decade, and Fast finally just threw their hands up and said, fuck it, we're not going to use them ever again. So Harmony Gold, it's their problem. They're the bitch when it comes to this.
They're the Jada Pinkett Smith who reveals
Exactly.
she's been Tupac the entire time.
So what the hell is going on with all that, like, now? Because she said that she's, like, has been separated from him for, like, how long?
Like 6 years.
Yeah, like, what the fuck?
She just likes slapping him around as much as she can. She's got to be the most evil woman on the planet. Like, even the bitch that got Trevor Bauer from the Dodgers fucked over, she's not even as evil as Jada is.
They're all evil.
Yeah, they are.
Well, I always go by the advice of Mr. Garrison. I can't trust anything that bleeds for 5 days and doesn't die.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Jada getting ready to sell a book, a Soul Assassin. Clone Geek Will Smith should just come out as gay or something.
Jeez.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Unless she said she never cheated on him. Like, you sat him on a couch and told him to his face that you were fucking your son's friend.
Yep.
How can you say you weren't cheating on him when you cucked him right like this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just made him a bitch. Even Amber Heard thinks Jada's out of line.
He's out of line, but he's right.
Made to bitch order.
All I can say about Jada Smith is
some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.
Well, just remember the advice of Joe Piscopo.
Aims are put on this earth to weaken us, drain our energy, laugh at us when they see us naked.
We got to do Johnny Dangerous to that watch party. That movie is so good. It's got lines like that throughout it.
they're all evil except for the Downs ones, right, Draven?
God damn it. You like one damn Downs chick, now you like them all.
Hey, we're not the ones with a minivan out in front of our house. I'm just saying.
I don't have a minivan.
Oh, I'm sorry, a mini bus.
It's not cheating. They were on a break.
Was Will aware of that?
Jada getting jiggy with it.
Oh, I just that article's been popping up quite a bit. I had made a couple of memes back then, and I'm like, I get to get a chance to reuse this one, and I love it because it's one of the most useful memes of all time. Run it real quick.
Is she still plowing Jada's sons?
I don't think so, but
the friends rather.
There you go. That is the most versatile meme I've ever used. Abby Smash.
Yes, the facial expression's about perfect.
Yep.
Why are these two always in trending? I don't understand.
I don't get it.
It's fucking sad. It's fucking sad. That's fucking hilarious.
It's very sad.
Mm-hmm.
Till my life flipped, turned upside down. Clonky Chris Chan is back on YouTube.
Oh, lovely.
Oh wait, I forgot. I actually made a Jason meme. I completely forgot.
Who the hell is Chris Chan?
The Transformer who banged his mom.
Ah.
He's got he's either retarded or autistic or something. He created Sanichu, which is like Sonic and Pikachu combined. It looks like it's made out of Play-Doh.
Is that him in the middle?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's him in the middle.
Even Jesus is like, I ain't touching that.
He's just walking. Jason's walking away. He's like, "Fuck this." He's like, "I'm done."
Jason turns around.
He's going back in the lake.
Well, no, Chris Chan's actually armed. He walked into a GameStop because he was frustrated that Sonic either came out late or there was the game title was changed or something, and decided to spray the GameStop employees with mace.
What the? How is this person not in jail?
Oh, they were in jail.
They were. There's multiples.
Well, he was in jail. It was in jail.
It was in jail.
There's more than one of them. This is getting out of control.
No, because it decided it wanted to be a transformer and call itself Christine Chandler.
What the? Is it writing for Marvel now too?
Yeah, probably.
What's the difference between another man's dick and another man's joke? Jada can take one, but not the other. Later, you festering bag of clown dicks.
Oh god.
The best.
Oh, fucking Skeletor memes are great.
Right.
Oh my god. I think we've got about a half hour left. I think we should go over to Rumble. What do you guys think? You want to go over to Rumble?
Yeah.
We haven't done that on a Monday in a while. Gang, I'm gonna post in the chat here. We're gonna post the there's the Rumble link right there. Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. You can get ready to follow us over to Rumble. Thank you to all. Let me thank my channel members over here on YouTube. Thank you, gang. We appreciate you guys. We do. And that's another thing we're adding back in is the channel members thank you video to play during the show. Appreciate you guys. Let me yeah, I know I'm a YouTube partner, you fucker. unless they know something I don't. We got What About, Scrambles, Keely Chow, Tollbat, Brutal Morningwood, Nelson the Psychopath, Normie, Rugo Better, Hicksville and JB, Bad Take Bojan, Jason Holt, Kelly Was, Godzillionaire, Chris Wicks, Glinzer, monoTony, Mr. Grant Gregory, Judas Goat Barbecue, AngelousDraven, Frog G, Tommy the Guinea Pig Collective, and Manliness and Motivation. Thank you. We appreciate you all for being channel members. The Rumble link is in the chat. We're going to cut it out here on YouTube. We will catch you guys tomorrow night. We're going to go 8:15 tomorrow night. Actually, we'll make that 8:20 because Tommy's streaming beforehand and Draven's streaming before that for AEW. And then Tommy's got Going Old School.
Yep.
Tomorrow night at 7 Eastern. So stay tuned. Everybody's links are in the description. You guys know that. We will see you over on Rumble in a moment. Like,